What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt Cavill with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Terence Bud Crawford. Get this, Terence Crawford takes a swipe at Errol Spence in the aftermath of Pacquiao's defeat. The WBO welterweight champion Terence Crawford took a swipe at his division's rival, the WBC and the IBF champion Errol Spence, and Spence was scheduled to defend his world titles against Manny Pacquiao on August 21st, and we all know what happened with Errol Spence. So, Crawford himself, who wanted to fight Pacquiao for several years, believes Spence took a big hit with the outcome because he lost a big money pay-per-view dance partner. And he says, quote, "Looks like Errol Spence is going to need me after all. I know you really mad about that fight last night between Pacquiao and Ugas because I was, but I'm not in a hating way, just in a missed opportunity way. Don't beat yourself up about it. Get well, champ," Crawford stated on social media. Let me counterpunch. It's funny how things turn, like how the tide shifts in boxing, how some fights just go away, due to injury or whatever, the case is. And some fights you think you're going to see, you don't see. Now, what Terence Crawford said made a lot of sense. He was like, I was pissed off that I lost the fight, but it's more like, you lost it too. And, when you guys can remember when the Manny Pacquiao Spence fight was made, a lot of people were saying, yeah, Terence Crawford, ooh, you desperate now. Ooh, you're desperate for a fight. Ooh, he's falling off. You know what I mean? And it was funny. It was like Terence Crawford, despite him losing or winning, he started to drop from that number one pound for pound to like number two or possibly number three and all that, right? Because, Canelo took that slot or whatnot. So when that Manny Pacquiao fight fell through, it looks like the walls were coming down, and it looked like people were praising, high-fiving, and fist-bumping, the usual suspects, because they were like, oh, well, Errol Spence is now the superstar and this, that, and the other, right? Because they thought that Manny was going to get that belt, which he didn't get that belt either. So I don't know why the hell he was holding a WBA belt. But anyway, that's a weird thing to me. But Terence Crawford now shifts his focus on putting that bid back and speaking that into existence with, hey, looks like you're going to need me though. Okay, you can fight Ugas, which more than likely a fight with him and Ugas will take place, but we don't know how long it will take Errol Spence to heal. However, Terence Crawford and Errol Spence should have fought anyway. That's supposed to have been the fight that everybody wanted to see. We didn't even know about Manny Pacquiao's reign in the fighting game. Okay, we didn't know what he was going to do because that's been since he beat Keith Thurman. We didn't know if he was going to come back. He could have just retired if he wanted to, but of course he did come back, so therefore we had that. So everybody jumped on Manny Pacquiao like a touchdown, and that's including Terence Crawford. So, but without Manny there, being the legend that he is from a whole nother planet when it comes to fighters, all you really have in the welterweight division, Spence, Crawford, that's the primary. Okay, you do have Ugas as the wild card, but at the end of the day, that's the fight that people wants to see. Okay, regardless of what Derek James or any of those cats say, this fight is the fight that the people still want until one of them gets beat. Okay, so that's notorious in the sport of boxing. That's how we, as a sport, loses credibility, because we don't get the fights when we should get them. And that's due to networks, that's due to janky promoters, that's due to a lot of, or cheap promoters. It's due to a lot of reasons we don't see these fights. But Terence Crawford's right. Errol Spence is going to need someone that's going to premiere himself, unless he's, planning on going up. But he didn't have that fight before moving up. So who knows? I don't know what his plans are. First of all, yeah, get well. But if you're looking at someone that's supposed to be the premier guy at the division, he needs to fight someone worthwhile. So, and then Ugas, I don't know how long Ugas will be fighting. Ugas is 35 years old too. So, I hope he gets some premier fights or whatnot. Terence Crawford and Ugas would be good. I would like to see that while Ugas is well, while he's healthy, while he's champion. Why not do a unification that way? Okay, that's another choice. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Terence Crawford taking a slight little stab at Errol Spence. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.